Tower defense games are a dime a dozen these days, but there was a time in which defending a tower was a less common objective. In fact, there was a time when tower defense was a pretty novel concept. Almost 2 decades before modern classics like Pixel Junk Monsters and Plants vs. Zombies, an arcade classic introduced us to the concept and went completely medieval on our asses. Or the Rampart we watched, I'm so gallantly blowing up ships. Released to arcades in 1990, Rampart was a notable release for a few reasons. The game was obviously a huge inspiration for the creation of an entire genre, but speaking to its own gameplay formula, Rampart has the firepower of a shoot-'em-up game with lots of strategy and even puzzle solving thrown in. It's a smart arcade game, which really made it stand out among its fellow action-heavy cabinets. There are no peace talks or treaties to sign. You start Rampart by choosing an area in which to wage war. And once you're there, you get to choose from a series of castles, picking one to occupy and then dominate with. You're attacked by fleets of ships coming in from the sea, and you have to fend them off using cannons, while repairing your castle to keep those seafaring scalawags at bay. The game takes place in a series of phases. During the first phase, you place your cannons within the castle walls, and once you're finished, the ships attack. This is the battle phase of Rampart, and this is basically when the carnage takes place. You have to aim a small reticule at incoming ships to sink them with your cannons, only those ships are returning fire as well. And that leads us to phase 2, which is the repair phase. With your castle's walls battered and crumbling, it's time to rebuild. Rampart gives you blocks like the ones in Tetris, and like Tetris, you rotate and place them, only in this game you do it around the castle. Well, what makes this phase interesting is that you're on a timer. If you work fast, you can actually re-enclose your main castle and enclose new ones as well. Fail to repair that wall, however, and the scalawags prevail. Rampart is a game that's easy to play, but very challenging to master. There's a nice balance you have to abide by in this game, a solid degree of strategy to successful play. For example, occupying several castles can provide you more firepower, but it can also make the repair phase a lot harder to survive. And even though your aim is better when you build closer to the shore, it also leaves you open to greater firepower from your foes. In addition to all that strategy, you have to work with accuracy and speed as well. Firing at ships requires some subtle leading in your aim, and every wasted second while placing blocks really costs you in the long run. Rampart has that overwhelming sense of pressure that you get from a really good tower defense game. And really, that's what this is, a good tower defense game. With a fun multiplayer component, colorful top-down graphics, and a frantic gameplay variety, Rampart is arguably where tower defense was built, and even today, its walls are surprisingly sturdy.